officiating's horrendous in this country from top to bottom.
He's 100% stood on him. VAR's not giving.
Put them in masks.
Yeah.
Let them ref it down.
Like superheroes. Matoma's pen shout.
God.
Better, any more or less a pen than Diogo Jota's against?
This is more of a pen than
More of a
Jota's.
pen.
This is the worst one of the lot, this.
He stands on his foot quite
But
clearly.
VAR looked at that.
with some ferocity as well, because it was from like a height. He come down on his foot.
Yeah.
It's a bad one. It's bad.
It's horrific.
VAR actually looked at it.
Yeah.
Who was
do.
VAR for that? Do we know?
Probably David Coote. Who
Stevie
knows?
Wonder.
They must have looked at the, I don't know, the top and not looked at the bottom. There's just no explaining that.
Bad, isn't it?
How did he get that wrong?
I don't know.
That's not a pen. Job well done, guys. And they clink cups together, and it just covers the screen at the point where, like, the foot comes down on the foot.
But it's also, it's the way the commentators are also like, yeah, it's a pen. He's 100% stood on him. VAR's not given. It's not being given. Okay, no pen. You're like, what?
The PGM are well constantly having to come out and say sorry to different teams. Howard Webb's only been in the job for a matter of months and that, saying
He's already got a template saved.
he literally and he just changes the team name every week. Yeah, sorry
He just
for
printed 20 off with all the
incompetency.
teams.
I, Howard Webb, would like to apologise to Brighton and Hove Albion for a terrible decisions made by the VAR this week, whose name was, and it actually just says David Coote.
It's always David Coote in that instance. Yeah.
Should they fuck it off?
Yeah.
I think
They
so.
should fuck VAR off.
Until they can get officials competent enough to use it, I think they have to.
I mean,
What's it giving?
It takes too much out of the game in terms of like time, wait, like
It's supposed to give correct decisions, and it's not even
it's not
doing that right
yeah.
now.
But, okay, I do kind of agree with you, but to play devil's advocate on this, they did it really well in the World Cup. And they don't take that much time out of the game.
No.
And they do get the right decisions.
But that comes back to my point about the officials not being fit for purpose.
Yeah.
Just get the World Cup once.
Yeah, but I don't you know what. That's an interesting point. We obviously got that Jared Gillette, is it, the Australian official now? We kind of signed him from
Is he in the Championship?
the
Or has he
A-League.
moved up to the Premier League now?
He's in Premier League now as well. Yeah, we've signed him from the A-League essentially. But I have made the point for a few years now. Why don't the Premier League, sort of the all-conquering Premier League, biggest league in Europe, go and sign the best referees to come and officiate in our league? Because we're supposed to be the best product in the world, the best league in the world, etc. Go and get the best refs. Because at the minute, they're the basement standard of refs. They are absolutely appalling. You might keep Oliver, and that's probably it.
I think it was, I don't know whether it was a Dale Johnson point on this, but it was certainly one of a sports journalists in this country. And people have got this false notion, though, of like the ones we've got are shit, get rid of them, as though there's this pool of great refereeing talent that's being held back by this current elite that have got the jobs. It's not the case. Officiating's horrendous in this country from top to bottom.
No, but
the best of the best. I mean, and I agree the point, by the way, go to the world and hoover them all up. But it doesn't solve your problem. It's like you're tackling symptoms, not root causes.
No, but I agree with you when you're talking about putting someone pitch side or on the pitch or a linesman or something. But when you're talking about VAR, I don't think you need to have run around the pitch for how many years to be able to referee that. You've got probably about 6 rules that you look at, and that's all you need to know.
I think
you know what I mean. It's like I think you could probably do better with just getting some absolute nerd in there.
Yeah, but
and go black and white, mate. Just it is binary. This stuff.
That's what it was. That's what it's been, and everyone hated that as well because that's how we get a penalty given against us at Brighton for Andy Robertson touching Danny Welbeck's toe. And the problem is if you need to have played footy or run around or seen football in the flesh to understand the weight of contact and understand how things mechanically work.
I think if it goes right, and I am just spitballing here, it's binary. It's black and white. It's right and wrong. If this needs context, sound, give it to the referee.
Do you think the refs have that though? There. Do you think they have that understanding of what it's like to be in the moment in a football match? Because I don't think a lot of them do, and I think that's part of the problem. The referees, so on the pitch, you're turning. But they're the same people, aren't they?
Because they always they never really book in the first 5 minutes. So they obviously do consider context, and then so that is something that referees do. They referee and they try and manage a game, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Some are better than others, but that's certainly in their decision making.
Who was the ref for the Jota one? Was it the Arsenal game where he gets last season when he gets railroaded and in the back, and Klopp kicked off at the referee and said basically, you you've never played the game, so you can't. You've not given that because you
Is
don't
that not
understand.
Spurs?
No, the Tottenham game.
Might have been the
Sir
Tottenham.
Johnny goes
So
into
was
the
the-
back of.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and basically his complaint is like,
David Coos.
if you've ever played footy, you'll know that there's nothing Diogo Jota can do there. He's slowed down and
To
just
shoot.
basically,
definitely,
been smacked off it, and that's the problem. I mean, it's the problem with it all. It's all subjective because there aren't enough binary decisions in football, but people think there are, and people would love there to be. I think that's what the offside is a binary decision, isn't it? But they haven't quite yet got the technology that truly makes it as such. But fouls are subjective. Fouls are totally subjective to because if you start going, was there contact? Well, contact doesn't always mean foul, does it? You know, it can be intent. You've got to judge intent, and you've got to judge velocity, and you've got to judge direction of travel, and all those kind of random things. And we start getting nitpicky on it, we'll end up in a position which is what we had a season ago or 2 seasons ago, where loads of mad little stupid pointless things are getting given.
Well,
I agree with the just fuck it off if you're going to do it, because it's getting wrong. They're getting wrong
if
anyway.
if the World Cup can do it right, why can't England?
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah.
And I think I'd rather have it fucked off as well, to be honest with you. And my main thought was like you, was like, it just, when you're in the stadium, you're the least informed.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I think when you are, and I don't often like to talk about how much you've paid to go to a game, but I expect to be the most informed for paying 50 quid to go to a game.
Yeah.
Not the least informed.
And it's also a case of, oh, we'll add 2 minutes on, but you spend 3 minutes telling me that West Ham Aguerd was actually onside, so it should have been a goal. So there's 3 minutes there alone. Why are you only putting 2 minutes? You never get the time back.
I don't remember whether the VAR was good or bad in the World Cup. It never stood out to me. But the one thing that did stand out was the added time thing. And again, at least I could measure that. Because you're dead right. That's where there's fucking stupidity that goes on with the officiating of stuff. I mean, the amount of time that was taken out of the Liverpool Arsenal game at the weekend by Arsenal players being down.
There's an easy fix on that. Just play a game time of 55 or 60
exactly.
minutes. That's the easy thing.
Yeah.
And why when you're, this stuff's my fucking head in. Why is it a fucking secret after 90 minutes how much has been played? Yeah. Like, why? Why does it just go to 90 and stop? It's like, fucking, why do I have to set my phone and my timer on my watch? It's not a fucking secret. You've told me it was 6 minutes. Why don't you just...
That's a Liverpool decision.
Oh, it's fucking infuriating,
that. You can do it because of the other scoreboards and have accounts for other accounts.
I don't even look at them, Paul. Yeah. Whenever I've been away, I don't even look at them because I just assume it was a thing.
Yeah.
God damn, it's annoying.
But yeah, again, we're here ever since VAR has been introduced. We were back in the days of doing fucking social club with beer on a Monday, and just every other week you go, and should VAR be sacked off? It's got wrong. Whilst it's incompetent people running it, it's always going to have stupid mistakes. And again, it boils down to that thing of the only good thing about it for me is that very brief moment when you've conceded a goal, and it's like having like a spin a wheel. And you press a button and it spins and it might land on a thing that says, goal disallowed. And that might give you a little bit of reprieve to maybe get the game back on going your way. And that's it.
It can, but it's also annoying if it happens the other way around. VAR decisions can flip a game on its head. Yeah. You can go from, I remember, the last several seasons, not so much this season, because genuinely it's been that bad. But after every goal, you felt like you couldn't really celebrate. And I remember Matip's goal in the Carabao Cup final or the FA, it was one of them, we faced Chelsea. And our away end went mental. And you'd had the let off finally, you could sense the nerves in the entire stadium.
It was a great celebration.
It was unbelievable.
It was one of the all-time celebrations.
Yeah, and then you have to somehow come back down to earth. It had been not given, and you had to
take the air out of the whole end.
Yeah, it literally killed everyone.
The biggest VAR game changer I remember was against City at home when they appealed for Joe Gomez handball and went up the other end and scored. I think Fabinho scored. That was the biggest sort of swing of emotions I've ever experienced of it. Yeah,
it's true. And again, it just means you're waiting for this random overlord to come and deliver like a salvation moment for you or whatever, which again can be quite exciting. There's been some cool moments off it, like City Spurs in the Champions League, City having it taken from them, really late on and all that kind of stuff. There's obviously there's obviously drama and televised drama to add to that because you can cut to the fans and you can have them biting the nails and waiting for it all. But
sorry,
I thought he had that anyway.
There's one more. Yesterday we were watching the Palace game, weren't we, with Leeds, and Palace's 5th goal was dead set on side. You could see it by the naked eye. We all sat there and was like, we all thought he was off to begin with. Then you saw the replay, and we were taking the mick at how long they were taking. Yeah. They drew lines on something that was so simple, but they took 2 minutes to draw the lines on, and it was like, oh, he's onside. Well, everyone in this entire beer garden could have told you that from the first view that we got out of it, and like they still took 4 minutes to go and analyse it.
It's almost like they go, fuck, he's onside there, we didn't need to go to VAR. Should we check if there was a handball, or check earlier on in the play to see if there was another offside so we can fill the time, because we probably shouldn't have gone to VAR on this.
And too much scrutiny, isn't there? And again, look, we're doing it now. You know, it's that nobody wants to be the one who takes responsibility for it. It's constant buck passing, and nobody wants to be the one to get it wrong. And the bad optics of what if you're the one who got it wrong and your name is then all over the papers. We know too many people's names, and there's too many people who have become connected to football, and the referees now have all become part and parcel of this. And no wonder they go into self-defence mode, is because we're all prepared to storm on David Coote's house because he was a bit shit at his job. You know, there's few other jobs in the world where if you're a bit crap at what you do, more often than not, you get away with it and you continue to get paid and no one's really any the wiser. But it's one of those now where all the other little bits around football are all part and parcel of it and have all been ramped up and all that. And it's so when referees are getting paid fractions of what the lads that they're refereeing, when they're not in the same physical condition, not held in the same standing, no wonder the kind of defenders.
We need masks then, that's what I've just got from that.
Oh,
Put them in masks.
Yeah.
Let them ref it down.
Like superheroes.
I'd like to think that if I made the amount of mistakes that they do in these games, you'd sack me.
Sorry, Chloe. Yeah, but can we just stop? I want to expand
Chloe.
on this point.
Wow.
Why don't we give them like luchador style?
Yeah.
Like a bit. If it was a bit like the chase. So if you had El Gigante is the referee today, and he's built like a mountain, and you can't see his face, but he's got his personality, I think we'd be more forgiving of referees' personalities if they actually just played them up and came in costume or whatever.
I mean, they have personalities. That's a big assumption on your half.
Yeah, but when they've got no choice but to have these masks, I think they could.
What's the program where the celebrity sings in a mask? The mask singer.
Mask singer.
Basically said it in the question.
Wow.
The celebrity that sings in the mask.
We should do the masked referee then. In that case,
I don't want to see John Moss in like.
What's the quiz where the person who answers the question wants to be a millionaire?